Hi, I'm Todd Shelton.
And I'm Luke Jones.
And we're with Dev Workshop Programming. So today, Luke is joining us again. Pretty soon we'll lose him, and then I'm going to be sad.
Don't say that. Please don't say that.
No, he's going to be around for a while. But today, Luke, what are you going to teach us?
We're going to do a lightbox, but we're not going to be using any libraries. So you probably, if you've been doing this for a while, you know there's a lot of different custom libraries for stuff. And one of them I see a lot of is carousels and lightboxes. Today, we're going to build a really simple custom lightbox, so you don't need to get one of those external libraries. We're just going to use jQuery, so we still got to use jQuery though. But other than that, we don't need anyone else's help.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm always up for a good lightbox.
I know, you're obsessed with lightboxes. This guy really is, seriously.
All right, tell us about the project, what it looks like. We're going to zoom in on your screen and tell us how it's set up.
But before we do that,
oh, wait a second.
As we always do, or at least sometimes, I think we always do. We always forget it halfway through. Stuff's at the bottom if you want to go find everything that we're doing and all that good stuff.
That's correct.
So, very simple what we're doing today. So, if I go ahead and jump in, if you see the project right now, I got my style sheet on the left, I got my index file on the right, then I also have a clean app.js file, so nothing too fancy right now. If I go ahead and jump into Chrome, all I have right now is a white background, and then I have a blue rectangle. And so what this is going to simulate is, think of it as like the beginning parts of a carousel in which you have a bunch of different images and you slide through them and such. We're going to put some images in here, and when we click on the image, we're going to actually have a new screen pop up with an enlarged version of that image, and then as soon as we just click anywhere on that new screen, it just goes back to where we were. Okay. Super simple. At least I hope so. But anyway, so here, if I jump back into my editor here, while you look in my index file, in our wrapper, I have something called the holder. The holder is going to hold all of our images. Now, they are not just an image file. I actually have the images inside of a container. I will explain that here in a minute. We're going to go ahead and add those. I already have them styled, thanks to our handy dandy style sheet.
Nice.
Yay!
Yeah.
But, all right, so we'll just jump in. So first, we're just going to create a div and give it a class of img holder. And if you look over here in the style sheet, I have something called img holder. And then I'm just going to duplicate that 2 more times. There we go, awesome. Then, inside of each one of these, I'm going to add an image. And then I'm grabbing these images from my assets folder that's inside the project. We do have some pictures in here for you. Yep. If you've seen one of our previous episodes and know my love for Overwatch, you're gonna really pick up on some of this really fast, except I called them different names. But anyway, here we go. Yeah, Todd's already laughing at me.
So what are we putting in? What's the first image?
So the first one I called is the henry.jpg.
Henry.
Yeah, I know. Super. Then the next one, I have one that's called Athena. I believe it's not capitalized. There we go.
We're going to put more than one in each one of these?
No, just one in each div.
Oh, okay.
And one in each div.
Yep.
And then the last one, I think, is a Casey.
Now, are you putting Henry in all 3? Or are you
No. Well, you could. I'm putting different ones in so we can all kind of get the gist of what's going on.
So these images are all the same size. We're not doing any fancy stuff.
One of them's kind of bigger, but that's okay.
Okay.
That's fine. I meant to do that for a reason.
Oh.
All right, sort of.
Man, he's getting fancy on this.
Not really.
All right.
So I also have a bunch of different images inside of here. So you can use any of these images, and these should all work to some extent.
Okay.
And so if I go ahead, I got everything I need, I believe. Everything's linked correctly. I jump back over to Chrome. And there we go. I have 3 images. One of them's kind of cut off because it's kind of big. That's okay though. It's not styled to necessarily do that. Plus this image is really big. But if we go back and check our style.css though, I actually, inside of the image holder, I gave each image a height of 100%. So it's going to take up the height of 300 pixels each image holder is. Now, why did I do this image holder container? Well, if I jump back over to Chrome and you see that larger image, this image isn't the greatest because the way it's positioned with the character, but if the character was more center positioned in this photo particular, you would see it, and then once we actually click on it and grow it, we can see the whole thing, and it looks better. And that's why I did this, because this large image right here, this is how you can mask it, so you don't have to show an entirely large image. Okay. And obviously, if you picked a better picture like what I have here when it's actually centered, it would probably look a lot nicer. But these two right here are relatively small and they actually fit it quite well. Okay. So, all right, that's it for the index.
We're done?
Just for the index.
All right.
We're not done yet.
Okay, all right.
But we don't have to do anything else with the style. Index is good. We're gonna jump into our app.js now. So what we wanna do, when I jump in here, we need to, when we click on an image holder, is what our function is gonna be, and we're gonna do this with jQuery.
Okay.
So if I go $ parentheses, quotes, dot image holder, dot click, we're not gonna get nuts. And I do my function. We don't have to add any parameters inside. There we go. That's where we're starting.
Okay.
So with each image holder, we need to grab the source of the image inside of that image holder.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Tom?
Yep.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the $. Actually, no, we're gonna make a variable and we're gonna call it img source. Then with that, we're gonna do $ parentheses, and then
so this is equal to $ this?
Yeah, equals $ this,
okay.
dot find,
okay.
and then we're gonna grab the image.
Okay.
So just in parentheses, img.
Okay.
Then with that, we're gonna grab the image's attribute. So attr.
Okay.
You might have seen this a little bit before because we've done some things with this. And then with the attribute, we're gonna grab the src, which is source.
Yeah, and that's in parentheses as well.
Yes, that is correct. The only thing in that line right there that's not in parentheses is the this.
Okay.
And that's referring to image holder.
Okay.
So what we just did, and I've already said this, is from the image holder, we're finding the image that's inside of it, and with that, we're grabbing the source, which is the attribute of the image. So if I go over here, that's the source, and it's gonna grab assets/henry.jpg, all that good stuff right there. So then the next thing we need to do is we need to make an image that has that source. So we're gonna do another variable, and we're gonna call this image, and I'm actually gonna spell image out completely this time. And then that's gonna equal, now we're gonna do single quotes this time instead of double. And we do single because it's gonna be easier to write this out.
Okay.
And we're gonna make it an image, give it a source, equals, with double quotes, and I'm gonna go ahead and close it. And then inside of the double quotes, we're gonna have single quotes, plus plus, and then image source. So what we just did was we just created an image that has the source of whatever the image that was inside of the image holder we clicked on.
Okay.
Now the next thing we need to do is we need to take our image that we just created and we need to append it into our wrap that's inside of the pick wrapper over here in the index.html. So the pick wrapper is the new screen that we're gonna bring up. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm going to do call pick wrapper, and it is a class, so we make sure we have the period. And then we're gonna do .html, and then we're going to just clear it first. So every time that when we do this process, it's gonna clear out what was originally in, almost forgot something. This is kind of important.
Okay.
So we have a wrap inside of the pick wrapper. Okay. I almost forgot about this, this is very important. We first need to make the pick wrapper appear, and then we need to actually call the wrap that's inside the pick wrapper to clear stuff in. Okay. If I do everything that I'm doing right now, it's actually gonna clear out the wrap, and that's not good, because that's gonna mess up how I'm displaying everything, because I'm using that wonderful flex box that we learned so many eons ago. So the actual first thing I'm going to do is, since pick wrapper is not displaying, I'm gonna do this cool fade in thing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do fade in, which is a jQuery, and I'm gonna give it a fade in of 500.
Instead of HTML. So we're removing HTML.
Yes.
Do fade in.
Yeah, fade in of 500. So
and 500 just the number inside the parentheses.
Yes, there you go, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, to make sure I'm super specified, pick wrapper wrap that's inside of the pick wrapper, and make sure that you used your periods when calling them classes. Then we're going to do what I was talking about, HTML, clear that bad boy out, and then we're going to do append our image, just like this. That's all we're going to do for now. We do need to add some more stuff, but this is what we're going to start with.
All right. So we're going to append...
we're going to append our image that we created.
Okay, up there at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then when we click on one of these, it's going to fade in our pick wrapper.
Okay.
So if I jump back in over here, hard refresh, It works.
Wow. My image didn't pop up.
Why?
I don't think did you ever complete the step where we fill in the source up at the top?
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we did.
I didn't put that in.
You didn't put that. That's very important. That's how we get the image.
Yeah, make sure that...
For once in our life, when we did one of these, I didn't mess up. Keep that on the records right now.
Oh, gosh darn it. He caught me.
I know, I got him.
Yes.
But if you look on my screen, though... Oh, wait. I just totally did the wrong call. Oopsie doodle. I refresh. I click on one of these. I get the image. Now, there is one thing that we haven't added yet. If I click all over this place...
We can't get rid of it.
We can't get rid of it. That's where we need to do the next thing.
All right, do it up.
So we're going to jump back in here.
Okay.
Jump back into... Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So all we got to do is that when we click...
function?
Not within the same function.
Okay.
We need to create a new function that's outside of our image holder click thing.
Okay.
And then we need to call pick wrapper this time.
Pick wrapper.
Yeah, I know. Super exciting names.
It is. And we're going to do a click.
And we're going to do a click. And this one is super basic.
I bet we're just going to turn this baby on or off, aren't we? Like a fade out?
Yep. That's what we're doing. And literally when we click on pick wrapper, we're just going to do this dot fade out. I'm going to give it 500.
Let me see if this works.
Did it work? Now
You're a genius.
I know. Now here's the thing. If you click on another one, does it work?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I didn't screw this one up this time.
No.
Holy,
this is amazing.
Holy crap.
It goes off.
Yeah. And as you can see, when I pull up the bigger image, the one that's all the way to the right, it's bigger and actually shows the whole picture, which is cool. So, because if you look at my style sheet here, I made it so when you pull up the pick wrapper image, it has a bigger height, obviously, than the image holders, because the image holders have a height of 300 pixels. Images inside of the wrap of the pick wrapper are 450. And if I want to get nuts, which I'm going to, because why not? This is Dev Workshop, and we just do everything nuts here. We get nuts. So I changed it to 750 pixels. This is going to get crazy. Get over, refresh, do a hard refresh. Holy smokes, that is big. Yeah, you probably don't want it that big. And if you really want to do some more responsive stuff, you can mess around with some of the percentage.
Yeah.
But I did not for the purpose of this one.
Okay.
But yeah, there you go. So if I go ahead and change it back to 450, it'll work again and all that good stuff. And it's actually relatively responsive because I'm using Flexbox. And as we know, Flexbox is very responsive.
Yes.
So,
yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So well, that's really all I got with this one.
Yeah. So I just want to tell you guys, after you're doing this, basically you always want to put that pick wrap, or the one that's going to display on the top, which is also known as a modal. You'll want to put that at the bottom of the code. Yeah. Right? Don't put it at the top. If you do put it at the top, it's going to be laid behind everything else. Now, even if you do a position of fixed, it'll still lay it behind everything that's rendered on top of it. You would have to do a Z index and make it like a 99 or whatever, just to bring it on top of everything. It's just easier to put it at the very bottom of your HTML.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
So that way, because if I did decide to put the pick wrapper at the top of the wrapper when you would click on something, it technically is appearing, but since it's behind everything, you won't see it.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So that's why you'd have to end up doing a Z index to fix that problem. So it's just easier to place it down at the bottom. But that was a good job.
Yeah. You got anything? Anything else you want to add?
No. I mean, this is great. Do you want me to add something else?
Let's go. Let's get nuts. You want to get nuts? You got anything?
No, I have nothing.
He doesn't want to get nuts today, guys.
Hey, you know what? Let's do this. So if you wanted to, you could do the background image as well. So you know how that one image was bigger? Yeah. Right? So you could actually set it as a background image and then end up centering it, doing position center and all that. To do that. And the process would still work exactly the same. You would just replace the background image source. Yes. Right? Or the URL. Yeah. So you could still do it that way and then get your image placed, but things would change a little bit. So
in terms of your structure, because like what Todd was talking about, when we're calling the image source right here, we would have to change that to finding the background image source of that object. Yeah. And then that would also help too, because with images like the large one right there, you could center it better. That one's really not the greatest because it's so wide. If I actually change it to something else, let's see if I can change Casey to like, I don't know, let's do Trish. Yeah.
And not to mention, if you notice that in his image holders that he has the width and height automatically set to 300 and 200. So by doing that, he already has the card laid out for you. So the background image would actually fill that area. which is not a problem. But if you were trying to randomly create this as the size of the image, or you wanted that, for instance, like this image tag that we used inside of the div, it will actually make that div grow, because it's content inside of it.
Yeah.
Just remember that background images are not content inside of another element. They're just background, they're just there. So as you expand those divs and grow them, you start seeing the background image. So you have to set a specific height and a specific width in order to see that background image.
Yeah. I changed the image to the Trish one, and as you can see, it actually looks a lot better in terms of what you see on the card, and then when you click on it, when it pulls up, it's a lot better. So that's why you gotta be careful with some of these images, and if you're like me and do a lot of photography, when you do like landscape stuff, it doesn't really matter unless you're trying to focus on something, but yeah.
Yeah, so another thing that you may want to do in this case, so if you were, in doing a game thing like this or something displaying cards, chances are your designer is already going to have this card laid out in a rectangle sideways, right? So you're going to have the image source. So if you look at mine where I'm pointing at here now in the index, where it says Henry, it may say something like Henry card, okay? And then all the card images would end up saying that.
Yeah.
Then when you replace it and you put that image up into your pick holder, we may have to, if you look at my app.js, and we've done this before, we may have to append another word saying something like image source. So here it would be Henry card, and then you would end up putting the word big or something after it.
Yeah.
So, so now it would display the bigger image of that, but then locally you would just see the card face.
This is one of those circumstances in which JSON data would be really nice.
Yes, it would be.
It would be.
Yeah.
I just made it super simple for all of you.
But we just want to expand on that just so you understand what's happening or what you could do, right?
Get nuts.
Luke, do you have anything else?
I got nothing
Words
else.
were easy for you today.
And words were very easy, unlike the rest of these that we've done.
While we were setting this up, they were not easy.
No, words are never hard. Words are never hard. Yeah, that's totally right. Yeah. He got me, I got him.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
All right, well, this time, next time, whatever time.
When the future comes.
Yes, all right. Thanks for watching Dev Workshop Programming, and we'll see you later.
And I'm Luke Jones, and he's Todd Shelton.
Oh, yeah.